Hello everyone. In this video I will be talking about cost of home ownership. This is mainly to address or respond to the current videos on YouTube about about the 5% rule for renting versus buying, like how you can justify paying basically how the cost of ownership for a home is 5% of the home value per year. And I don't think that calculation is accurate, so I will be doing my own calculation and showing you guys how that works. And you guys can let me know if I'm wrong. Yeah, so for the example I'll be using, so let's use a home price of $1 million. And I'm using $1 million because I'm in California and that's how it is around here. So it is what it is. And when you first start a mortgage, I would like to put down $200,000 because I don't want the MIP, mortgage interest premium something. They mess with the calculation, so let's just pretend that they don't exist and put down 20%. And property tax for California is 0.7%. I think. Yeah, 0.73% in California, and the maintenance cost is universally agreed for the most part. It's going to be 1% of property value per year. So that's going to be maintenance cost 1%. So this part is pretty straightforward, and this is part the same as the existing videos about true cost of home ownership. Especially, my main the main video I'm concerned about is the Ben Felix's video on the 5% rule. So this is, so far I'm consistent with his 5% rule. But this is where things get tricky. So the cost of debt, which is the interest on your mortgage, is going to be 3%. But it's actually not 3% because it's applicable only to the equity, the amount that you have not paid, only for the loan, so only for $800,000 or 80%. So the cost of debt is actually going to be $2.4%. That's the true cost of debt is 2.4%. So as you pay for your mortgage over time, your cost of debt will decrease. I mean, obviously home price appreciates over time, but I'm not calculating it here because I'm calculating the home price appreciation elsewhere. Property tax is going to be always roughly around 0.73, even though the property tax is based on the assessed value, not the market value. So in reality, it's going to be lower. But let's just use the true value for now. Maintenance cost is going to be the same over time, and the cost of debt is going to decrease over time as you pay off your mortgage. So basically, if you do total cost so far, total real cost so far is you're going to have $41,000 per year, and then it decreases over time. Those are your total real costs. But then there's another real cost, which is the opportunity cost. The money that you put in your house, this $200,000 over here, and over time it's going to be like $400,000, $600,000. All this cash is basically in your house. They bury it in your walls, in your kitchen, in your I don't know, whatever. And they incur an opportunity cost because you could put that massive amount of money in your savings account or investment account. If you put in an S&P 500, the average stock market return is about 10%. Hold on, 10 years too high, but right here. So the average S&P 500 return for the past 50 years is screw it. Let's just go with 10%. Let's go with 10%. So this is your opportunity cost. AKA cost of equity, and it's going to be 10% a year. 10% a year. That's the cost of your cash sitting in your walls, not doing anything with it. So 10% a year. However, it's only applicable to the equity in your house. It's not applicable to the entire house value. So your opportunity cost for the first year is going to be 2% of the home value, and over time it's going to increase to 10% of your home value. So basically, if you buy a house 100% cash, if you drop $1 million into your house and you don't have a mortgage, you actually incur a cost of 10% of your home value a year because you're not putting that money into investment. So those are real opportunity costs right there. So I'm going to change this formula to G2 to include that. So now these are your total real costs every year of owning a house. So as you can see, over time it costs more because the opportunity cost increases over time, even though your mortgage decreases over time. And then another thing that I need to calculate is home appreciation. Globally is not globally, sorry, US average home appreciation. It's around 3.9%, I think. Yeah, 3.8, 3.5, 3.8 for US average. So let's go with 3.8%. It's 3.8%. So your total real cost of ownership is going to be combining all this subtracted by home appreciation. So this is going to be your real cost of ownership. So yeah, so it's not really a 5% rule, even though if you do the average, it's actually a 5% rule. But it's actually not 5% rule because early in your investment, this is why people keep saying that leverage from mortgage is one of the most powerful thing you can do financially, because you only have to put in 20% to take out an 80% loan. The cost of ownership is actually extremely low early in your home ownership years, and over time it increases because the opportunity cost increases. So in order to calculate equivalent rent, to make a decision whether or not you should buy a $1 million house or rent, you need to compare the $1 million house with an equivalent rent, which is this total yearly cost right here divided by 12. So basically, early in your mortgage is buying a house with $200,000 down for and getting a mortgage for 3% on the rest is the same as renting an apartment for $1,900. But over time that increases to be $6,000. So on average it's still 5%, but there is an exception for this, because every 10 years or so you can do a cash out refinance to bring your equity back. That will reduce your cost of home ownership, because your opportunity cost is the biggest piece of the calculation. Yeah, so that's pretty much my calculation. There are a few things I can improve upon, like for example this 3%, that's tax deductible, so that's actually more like 2% because it's tax deductible, and my tax bracket is pretty high at around 36% a year, so it's the 3% mortgage interest is actually 2%. And also the opportunity cost should be reduced also because it's not tax free. If you sell your house or you do a cash out refinance, you don't have to pay taxes on those gains, but you do have to pay taxes on capital gains. So this 0.1% is actually more like 0.08. So your opportunity cost is more like 8%. So I guess actually even cheaper if you calculate for all the tax advantages. It's cheaper to own a house because your average cost of ownership is actually 3.5%, and your average equivalent rent is $2,900. Yeah, I hope that helps. Hopefully I can make better videos in the future. Kind of don't have the experience to do that right now. If you have any questions, comments, please drop it down in the comments below. I'll try to answer as best as I can. Peace out.